Have you ever heard of the invisible guest theory? Have you ever gone to a social event or into a meeting and noticed most people aren't really thinking about you at all? And then suddenly you feel it, that subtle self check. You straighten up, you measure your words. You wonder if people are noticing you. For a lot of people, especially people in midlife, this feeling shows up quietly, not loudly, not dramatically, just a low hum of self awareness. But here's something that rarely gets said out loud. As we get older, we realize most people aren't really even thinking about us at all. They're too busy thinking about themselves. They're wondering, do I look good? Do I sound good? Do I sound competent? If they look like they've still got it, if they're being respected, or if they're being overlooked. Everyone is running their own mental commentary. And this leads to something strangely liberating. A lot of the time, you are sometimes, often, the invisible guest in someone else's world. Not because you don't matter, not because you've lost value, but because everyone is so caught up in their own doubts, in their own insecurities, and in their own story. By the way, I'm Judd. I'm all about digging into what makes us human and uncovering how to live authentically. And stick with me for the bonus at the end on how to put this into practice. So, this really hit me when I started looking back on my own life. The conversations, those ones that you replay on the way home, the times I thought I should have said this or I should have said that, or maybe I should have said this differently. And then I asked myself something honestly. Were they even really noticing? Most of them weren't. They had already moved on to their next worry, their next pressure, their next self criticism. And that realization made me rethink every room that I'd ever walked into with self conscious doubt. And oddly enough, quite frankly, it freed me because most people are too focused on themselves to notice my flaws. So, why keep living like you're in center stage? Why do so many people carry the weight of performance long after they've proven themselves? Consider how we make ourselves feel the need to impress when no one else is keeping score. But here's what I found. The truth midlife teaches, if you let it, you don't need to perform anymore. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need approval from people who won't even remember what you wore, what you said, or how you said it. Think about it. How often do you replay someone else's awkward moment from 6 months, 2 years, or 5 years ago? You don't. You're far too busy replaying your own. That's the invisible guest theory at work. Everyone is the main character in their own life and a background character in everyone else's. And once you truly understand that, something shifts. You stop overthinking. You stop shrinking. You stop carrying the pressure to impress rooms and people that were never watching you in the first place. You start showing up grounded, present, comfortable in your own skin. And you allow yourself just to be, to show up as yourself without the armor, without the performance, and without pretending you're someone you outgrew years ago. And here's the quiet irony. The moment you stop trying to impress, you become more solid, more calm, more real. And that's what people actually feel. Not the perfection, not the performance, but the presence. So the next time you walk into a room and feel that old pull to measure yourself, remember this. You're not under a spotlight. You're simply a guest, just like everyone else. And that's not something to fear. It's something to be free of. And that's the bonus. Just to feel your own presence without people's perceived perception of you. If this speaks to you, even just a little, leave your thoughts in the comments. And I will leave you with this. We all all of us have pretty good instincts. You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just notice the next time you stop performing and let yourself arrive as you are. And if you want more reflections like this, quiet thoughts for people who've lived some life, tap the subscribe button below. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.